West.
You don't have any idea what's going on, do you?
What did you want to show me?
This.
Oh. What happened here?
That is not the half of it.
Oh no. Oh my. They're all wilting.
Doesn't look very good, does it?
No.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel here. It's Lavender here, and today I want to do another topic, comrades. But before we start, if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you're interested in anti-capitalism content. So let's get started into the topic of this video. So this topic is Save the Bees, Capitalism and Climate Change Are Destroying Them. Deep dive into this topic about the ongoing extinction of the bees, and how capitalism is the root cause of all this. So let's get started into this video. So recently this month, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service announced that the American bumblebee, whose populations have plummeted by nearly 90%, may warrant an Endangered Species Act protection. And the statistic comes because, again, this is another statistic when it comes to bees. 1 in 4 wild bee species in the United States alone, that's not worldwide, only in the United States, is at risk of full-on extinction. Bee populations have started noticeably dwindling in the mid-1980s, according to Bee Health. There are several factors that contribute to the bees' endangerment, which includes habitat loss, stress. Pesticide deforestation is a main contributor to the bees' oncoming extinction as well. A study conducted showed that the majority of pesticides bees in nature come into contact with are picked up from urban areas, such as the insecticides used by landscapers, to control the mosquitoes in the area. Also, herbicides, aka weed killers, kill unwanted plants and are therefore highly toxic for the entire environment and the animals that live in that environment, including the world of insects. One media and famous herbicide product is glyphosate, that was found in the toxic poison Roundup weed killer product that led to many people getting cancer all across the U.S., and many lawsuits came from that event. Researchers found that the glyphosate does not kill bees directly, but severely impairs their ability to collect nectar or orient themselves. This reduced ability often kills the entire bee colony because the nectar-producing bees do not find their way back to their colony. The American bumblebee was once common in open prairies, grasslands, and urban areas across most of the United States as a whole, but has experienced a rapid and severe decline over the past 20 years or so. It has disappeared or become very rare in 16 states. Overall, observations of the bee have declined by nearly 90%. Also, another statistic in this, the number of threatened Australian native bee species in Australia is expected to increase by nearly 5 times after the devastating Black Summer bushfires that occurred in 2019 through 2020. Fertile soil provides a natural variety of different biodiversities, as in plant life, and supply vital food sources for pollinating insects. Bees need this exact variety of natural nectar and pollen sources to prevent nutritional deficiency and to strengthen the immune systems and the immunity defenses of the colony of bees. If all the world's bees died off, there would be a major rippling effect throughout the Earth's and the world's ecosystem as a whole. Without bees, they would set fewer seeds and would have lower reproductive success. According to NASA, about 75% of flowering plants require the western honeybee for pollination so they can produce fruit. In terms of agriculture, the loss of bees would dramatically alter human food systems, but would not likely lead to famine. Many fruits and vegetables are insect pollinated and could not be grown at such a large scale. Almonds, blackberries, blueberries, etc. in particular, for example, rely on honeybees for up to 90% of their pollination, although hand pollination is a possibility for most fruit and vegetable crops. It's incredibly labor intensive and expensive. Without bees, the availability of diversity of fresh produce like fruits and vegetables would decline substantially, and human nutrition would likely suffer because of it. Bees also pollinate crops that animals and farm animals eat. For example, the feed that is used to feed livestock is largely composed of alfalfa, which requires pollination by bees and other insects. Beyond plants, also many animals such as the beautiful bee-eating birds would lose their prey if in the event of a whole bee extinction die-off, and this would impact the natural systems and food webs in the areas where bees are found. As you guys know, capitalism is profits over lives of anything, lives of animals, lives of humans. Capitalism's main goal is to produce as much profits as they can. Capitalism is the number one cause for biodiversity loss and climate change. There has been studies on how the effect that climate change and hotter temperatures are having on bumblebees. Sadly, bees are having a hard time coping and adapting to a warming world, while other species like butterflies are able to easily migrate their populations. Bees don't adapt to fast-paced change quite as easily as butterflies, meaning that they are especially endangered from unexpected effects of climate change. Unless we can stabilize or reverse climate change, bees may one day run out of habitat altogether and will go extinct. What was found was that an increasingly frequency of unusually hot days is increasingly local extinction rates, reducing colonization of bees, site occupancy, and decreasing species richness within a region. Too cold and their flight muscles can't function, the bees' muscles, that fast enough to support flight, too warm and they could overheat and they could die. Bees are also extremely susceptible to certain mites and get parasites, and these parasites actually thrive in the heat. As the climate shifts into higher temperatures and warmer weather, it is extraordinarily likely the bees will face even greater threats from these unwelcome critters, which can cause full-on colonies to collapse and wipe out their entire hives, creating extinction. Also, during the wildfires, among the vast number of native species damaged by the climate change crisis, we must not forget the native pollinators such as bees, wasps, and other insects. Native pollinator populations have decimated in burned areas due to wildfires and bushfires caused by climate change. The new study published in Global Change Biology warns that widespread wildfire and forest fire damage is being repeated all around the world, from North America to Europe to the Congo and Africa and to Asia, causing catastrophic impacts on biodiversity and sudden and marked reduction in population sizes of many species. And on to mass factory farming / industrial farming methods and how that affects bees. One of the driving forces for deforestation, which is one of the main things that makes bees go extinct, especially in the Amazon and South America, is the animal agriculture sector. The livestock industry is responsible, and is reaching profits that are approximately $100 billion USD a year in America alone. Forest destruction is caused by clearing forest lands and converting it into places for livestock to be grazing. The negative effects of deforestation is increasing at an alarmingly fast rate globally. In the U.S., roughly 260 million acres plus of forest land has been cleared. The rapid rate at which trees are being cut down can harm bee communities and animal communities as a whole that depend on forests for their livelihood.